They say real men don't talk. I say they just haven't been asked the right questions. This ain't about trends. It's about truth, about faith that don't fold, love that costs something, and manhood that still means something. I'm not here to argue. I'm here to build. This is the Always Up Podcast, Season 2, Too Real to Win. For the men still trying to love right in a world that loves wrong. Loyalty used to mean something. Now it just means you're still on payroll. It's crazy how you can mistake consistency for care. You start to think people are in your corner. Then you realize they're just in your calendar. The trainer who texts you, "Let's work," every morning, stops texting when the retainer runs out. The therapist who says, "I'm proud of you," forgets your name after session 12. The coach who calls you family starts rooting for your competition the minute you stop paying. They weren't fake. They were funded. And once the funding stops, so does the relationship. I used to take it personal. Thought I did something wrong. But loyalty doesn't fade. It just follows the flow of benefits. And that's when it hits you. Most loyalty is transactional, and the transaction ends when the access does. It's not betrayal. It's business disguised as friendship. You just learn to stop confusing attention for allegiance, because once you see it for what it is, you stop expecting loyalty from people who only showed up for the opportunity. It's wild how people can clap for your progress and still pray you stay dependent. They loved you humble. They just don't love you healed. That's the part they don't teach in self-awareness school. Growth changes the guest list. Don Miguel Ruiz said it best in the 4 Agreements. Don't take anything personally, and I had to learn that the hard way. Loyalty doesn't disappear, it just reveals its price. Loyalty used to be measured by time. Now it's measured by trends. Some people don't stick around because they're real. They stick around because you're relevant. The second your name cools off, their interest evaporates like it was never personal. I used to call that betrayal. Now I call it balance. See, loyalty sounds like love until it costs somebody convenience. I learned that in business first. Everybody's loyal when the check's clear, but start delaying payments and you'll find out how spiritual your support really is. Then I saw it in relationships. People say they want real until reality requires effort. They'll pray with you when you're broken, but compete with you once you're blessed. Loyalty isn't hard to find. It's just rare to keep once self-interest enters the chat. Half the time, people don't even switch up. They just settle into who they really were once the benefits stop bouncing. And that's the myth nobody wants to admit. Loyalty was never unconditional. It just had better branding back then. We turned it into a marketing word, a performance of consistency. You repost, you comment, you call somebody bro, and suddenly you've built a reputation off rhythm instead of relationship. But rhythm isn't relationship, and silence isn't disloyalty. Sometimes people go quiet because God needed to show you who would stay without spotlight. Because loyalty without light will always die in the dark. Everybody swears they're loyal until loyalty stops being convenient. They'll tell you, "I'm here for the long haul," then disappear the moment the ride gets bumpy. Turns out Solid has a cancellation policy. Loyalty today is like a subscription. Auto renews every month until something shinier drops in the feed. And that's the game. Most people don't fall off. They just log out quietly when you're no longer trending. I used to think loyalty meant never leaving. Now I see it means telling the truth on your way out. Because the real ones don't ghost. They graduate. That's maturity, not malice. They know when a chapter is over without tearing out the page. But let's be honest. We've all had people in our lives who treated loyalty like leverage. The "I was there for you" crowd. Translation, you owe me for the version of me I used to be. And that's the problem. Most people want credit for who they were, not accountability for who they are now. You start realizing that "I got you" only applies when you're down bad. Because once you start winning, suddenly they can't relate anymore. Loyalty shouldn't need conditions, but in this generation it always comes with fine print. Say no once, you're selfish. Say yes too often, you're a servant. So I stopped chasing loyal people and started building loyal patterns, because loyalty that needs to be managed was never mutual to begin with. Let's slow it down for a second. Fellas, here's the truth. You don't need to test loyalty. You just need to watch consistency when comfort leaves the room. Anybody can look solid when things are smooth, but loyalty shows up where ego runs out. If you want to know who's real, don't watch how they act when you're down. Watch how they move once you start leveling up. When you're struggling, you're safe. When you're succeeding, you're a mirror, and most people can't handle their reflection. So here's what I call the loyalty test. It's not a checklist, it's a pattern. 1, absence. When you pull back, do they reach out or replace you? Because distance exposes dependency. 2, boundaries. The minute you say no, pay attention. Loyalty that depends on access isn't loyalty, it's appetite. Number 3, balance. Do they celebrate you the same way they correct you? If not, they're managing proximity, not partnership. Real loyalty doesn't flinch when you change form. It adjusts. And here's the hardest truth. Sometimes God removes people quietly because you were too loyal to a version of them that no longer exists. But don't get mad. Just update your contact list. Loyalty isn't proven in pain. It's revealed in peace. Because once the drama's gone, you find out who was addicted to your chaos. I used to pray for loyalty. Now I pray for alignment. Because if we're moving in the same direction, I don't need to question your devotion. Purpose always reveals who was real. The older I get, the less I chase people. The more I protect peace. I've learned to stop calling disconnection disloyalty. Sometimes it's just destiny doing maintenance. Loyalty isn't about staying. It's about showing up honest. And when you start living in truth, you realize how many relationships were only alive because of your silence. See, I'm not loyal to people anymore. I'm loyal to the mission, the calling, the code. Because loyalty to people will drain you, but loyalty to purpose will develop you. And maybe that's what growth really is. Learning to thank the people who left for teaching you how to stand alone. I don't measure loyalty by who claps the loudest anymore. I measure it by who stays quiet and still shows up when the work isn't sexy. So yeah, I lost some people, but I kept my peace. And that's a trade I'll make every lifetime. But loyalty was never the test. It was the preview. The real question, is it love or just leverage? Thanks for listening. If this episode hit home, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. This season, Too Real to Win, is for the men still trying to love right in a world that loves wrong. No clout, no gimmicks, just truth. I'm Brian B. Turner, and this is the Always Up podcast. Until next time, stay focused, stay faithful, and always up.